Happy Saturday, Shaggy SoCal. Shaggy SoCal tool for Forza. And this is the final set of track guides for TNT Season 8 in this 1997 Porsche GT1 Strassen version. Races this week is Mugello Full, which is where we're at now, and then Watkins Glen Short. Figured I'd do this one first. It's the little more of the technical track. We haven't been here as much lately, I don't think, compared to Watkins. So like any track guide, I'm going to go out and run a few out laps, just kind of get up to speed. Then I'll kind of do the slower track walk for a lap, just to point out the things I'm looking for, what the car seems to like, what it doesn't like, and then again, because I do need to do a little bit of practicing, I'll do a mock race, kind of what I think the race length is going to be, and then that's also will help me kind of sort out kind of tire life, and we'll go from there. But anyhow, enough talking. Let's get driving. So heading out on, I'll start on soft tires. Any of these tire testing things I do, it's usually 50% fuel with whatever tire I'm on. No track rubbering to start. I start at noon 4 times on the time progression, and partly cloudy because I like clouds. It makes it look more interesting. And that's usually how I get my initial tire assessments. All right. So for me, heading down the front stretch for turn 1, I'm going to look. It's the light pole there on the inside and the white line on the outside right there. That's kind of what I'll be braking somewhere in between those 2 points. Certainly, I think once I'm up to speed, it'll be probably closer to the light pole. Neat and tidy. Third gear. Use the yellow sausage curb to find the apex. You can use a lot of curbing as you need to. Gonna keep it in third here. Brake at the corner worker shack. Still tire's a little cold, a little bit of push. I'm gonna leave it in third through here. Take advantage of the engine braking to help keep the front in check. Maybe a little brake there. It's all gonna be about balance. Apex here, middle of the track. Looking for the final light post before the hairpin right there. Second gear, maybe third. Gonna keep the car to the right. Turn in just as I get to the curbing here on the outside. Use a lot of this curbing. Try and stay off the exit there. I like staying off the exit there. Brake at the pavement change. That might be a little soon, but I'd rather maybe be a little on the conservative side. Take the F1, cross over there if you want. Comes up quick if you're not careful. We'll do one more lap. Start finish. Try to take this as straight as possible if I'm on my own. Look for that. Yeah, that might be a little bit soon, at least for the soft tires. Second gear, keep it to the right side. Go to third. I was a little bit early on the turn in. Aiming for the second yellow sausage curve to find the apex. You can go over there. The car doesn't seem to mind it too much, but you have to be careful. Third gear, apex. Go back in. A little bit of oversteer. Probably use a little bit more of the inside curving there. A little bit of a check brake now. Get the weight on the front. There we go. The fourth, brake right before the camera boom on the right side. Here through there. Let's see if I do this one better this time. Can't see where I locked up before. See, you can use a crap ton. I'm surprised I could use that much curbing there. I'll keep it neat and tidy this time. So that's kind of Mugello. It is a very flowing racetrack. I think it suits the car well. The car would suit the track better if there was a little less understeer, but maybe I'll work on that later. So let's do the track walk here. So again, you're going to be in fifth gear. I don't know that six would be, again, six is always there as a drafting gear if you think you need it. If you got like a hell of a run and you're, popping to six. But for braking for turn one, I'm looking at that temporary, the quicker I can spot that light pole coming down the front stretch. Again, it's that spatial awareness. It helps establish that where I can go, okay, I know where that's at, how quick it's coming up, then it gives me a reference there where I'm going to brake at. So as I said, it's depending on the tire, depending on draft, depending on, are you on the racing line, or you're trying to make a move to the inside. It really comes down to it's, you know what? I always forget to do this, but I don't want to spend a lot of time having to clutch in like that. So let's just go ahead and switch that back. Resume. So again, for braking for turn one, I'm trying to spot that light pole coming down the front straightaway, and that's probably the earliest I'll brake, and that might be the braking point on the hard tires. But certainly, on the softer the compound you go, the more aggressive you can get on the brakes. The tires will have the grip there. If you want to brake a little bit later. So, but I think the kind of that range of braking points is that light pole, and the absolute latest is going to be just as you get to the 100 board here. I never really see the board myself. It's mostly I can see the white line. That's easiest to spot at speed. And in previous Mugello videos, I talk about there's two different braking lines into turn one that I'll take. It depends on my mood, depends on my rhythm. Either I'll do the kind of more traditional, I'll brake kind of in the straight line parallel to the outside of the corner and kind of take the traditional, turn in, maybe late apex it. We'll get into that here in a bit. Or I might, do the braking in a straight line, kind of pointing the car across the track into the inside curbing. We'll see what I do in the race. But those are the two ways I brake there. But regardless, brake, down. Second gear, I would say second gear is probably the safer gear. It's you'll have a little more oomph out of the corner, but also and we'll talk about it in the back half of the course. The higher RPMs, you get a little advantage of the engine braking to help slow the car down. I just don't know if third, because it's low in the rev range, if it's got quite the same amount of punch out of the corner that second will. But that again, it's for me at this point, it's about a comfort level. Like what do I feel more comfortable with? How does the car feel versus checking lap time. I at this point in the game, I'd rather just find something that's consistent that well, again, it's what I do. You might differ, so I'll let you guys figure that one out. But regardless, the line I'm trying to take through turn one is if I'm a little bit wider on entry, I'm trying to get the car back over so that I'm exiting on the right half of the corner, or sorry, right half of the track. So, will I be all the way over on the white line here? Probably not. I'll probably be off of it a little bit. If I push a little too much or being a little too aggressive on the tires, I might be closer to the middle. I really don't want to be on the left side of the track because, just managing weight transfer, we've got a lot of sections where it's left to right. And this car is fairly flat, so there's not a lot of roll that you have to worry with. But the less steering I have to do to get the car around the track, the more relaxed I can be, the more speed I can probably carry through. So again, for me, I'm going to always try to late apex this one, try to keep it on the right half of the track. Setting up second gear, maybe up to third. This one I'm still trying to figure out. I think I can do this in third on my own. Second if I'm in traffic or if I've made a mistake. But I'm going to bring the car over here on the right side. Historically, the outside curbings, as you're setting up for a corner, are dangerous. Because, again, you'll have two different grip levels. You're going to have the right side having to deal with bumps that the left side doesn't. And it can put the car in a situation where when you're trying to brake or release the gas and turn in and have the front to rear weight shift, especially with the curbing, you might pitch the car sideways a bit, and and that's not fun. So maybe give yourself a little wiggle room on the right side here. Second or third gear, up to you, but it's what I always look at is the course condition light that's there on the left side. Once that kind of goes out of view, that's when I'm really going to start looking to turn the car in. And more often than not, I'll probably turn in early the first couple of laps until I get up to speed. But turn the car in, probably use a little bit of the inside curbing. This curbing's, you can cross over it a bit. It's not going to upset the car all that much. Again, because it is a left-right combo, I'm going to try to keep the car. I'm going to sacrifice the exit for the left-hander so that I get a better entry, carry a little bit more speed in the right-hander, so I can carry more speed out, because it is a short enough straightaway. Someone drops tires or makes a mistake, you might have a run to take a shot in the next corners, or at least maybe even catch up. But second gear, third gear here, keeping the car to kind of the left side of the track. As far as references, you can see the two yellow sausage curbs on the inside of this next turn. Ideally, I like late apexing it, so I'm going to aim for the second one as my apex. That seems to work best for me. It's also, I think, historically when I've raced AI, especially in the older Forzas, I was always having to late apex this corner to be on the right side, because the AI would always mess up the exit or be slow, and then I can get the run down in the next corner. So that's part of that. But again, turn the car in. I'm turned in way late there, but I'm using that sausage curve as the exit, or as the apex marker. You can cross quite a ways over it. If you have to, you can cross over the outside curbing here. Again, just be careful how far you get over. It's easy to get track limits, but it's not, again, these curbings don't upset the car as much on exit. So you can use a bit of that. Moving the car back over to the right side here. Previous ones, for me, I'm trying to see where, you can, even though I don't have rubbering on, you can kind of see the rubbered in line for the next corner where that point darkens. I'm trying to get that set in my brain about how quick that's coming up. I'm going to brake just as I get to it. So if I'm second gear, I might be third gear at this point. Probably wind it out in third. Brake again, trying to be as far to the right as possible, but I'm going to try and stay off the outside curbing. Again, it's that you can cross over it, you can cross back over it, but it just on turn in, the outside curbing can upset the car if you're not careful. Especially if you guys are running sim steering on your wheels. I don't, but that's me. So still third gear here, turn in, yellow sausage curve, use that as the apex, can cross over that a bit, keep the car to the left, same philosophy, sacrifice the first part of this left-right combo so that I can maximize speed on the second corner. Again, apex there, I'm probably a little bit late. Bring the car out. If you need to cross over, you can. Bring the car back over. I don't know what I'll be. I think third gear through these next 3 or 4 corners is preferred, and it is, again, the car again does have a smidgen of understeer. But what I'm finding is, anything you can do to kind of help balance the car, I think third gear works better. It helps keep the weight a little bit more on the front tires than if you had it in fourth. And then you've got a little bit better control. If you can give it a little gas, you can ease off the gas a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if you really need to brake all that much. There might be just a little touch, just to help get a little more weight on the front tires where it's needed. But for these next corners, what I'm looking for is the corner worker shack here is where I'm going to brake at. As I go past that, it's brake, brake, brake there. I'm going to release the brakes. Timing wise, it's going to be right about when I get to the access road for the safety workers coming on. I'm going to release there and turn in. And when tires are up to temperature like that, I am actually going to try to abuse the inside of this curbing, use as much as I can. Again, another right-left combo. I want to try and keep the car, no further left than center. If I'm in the center, fine, I can work with it. But I want to try and keep it, I want to cheat a little bit to the right if I can. It just makes this next longer left-hander easier. Here again, don't really need to brake. Probably don't need to brake. We'll see on the harder compounds. Definitely lift, maybe a little bit bounce through. I'm not one to use a lot of the inside curbing there, but I will use a bit of the curbing on the way out to bring the car back across. And here's decision time. Some of you might be tempted to go to fourth gear. Um, you can. I don't see any reason why. Again, it's all about personal preference and comfort, how the car feels to you. For me, I think more often than not, at least right now, I'm probably going to leave it in third for the next two corners. And it is similarly the ones, some of the earlier ones. Having it at the higher RPM, I can balance the car just inherently easing off the gas because it's so high in the RPM, the engine braking. It's going to just more naturally put weight on the front of the car. Fourth gear, because it's low in the RPM, if I let off the gas, the weight shift's not as dramatic. But what I'm looking to do is, as I get to the curbing here, I'll probably be off the gas at this point, and depending on how much speed I'm going through, I might even just do just a little brush of the brakes, just get a little more weight on the front to turn in. And then it really is just about feathering the throttle and balancing the car. Again, it's for me, it's that difference with me and the wheel is, as far as balancing the car mid corner, there's two different philosophies on the wheel. You can crank more wheel in and not do anything with the throttle, or you can play with, leave the same amount of steering and play with the throttle. Um, the main difference is going to be the tire wear. If you're more prone to throwing more wheel into it, that's fine. You're going to be wearing your tires more. If you're running a two-stop strategy, that's probably not a bad thing. And again, that's my how I drive and how I tend to drive. It's kind of based off the controller. I can only move the stick so far to the left or right, and at that point, if the car's still understeering, I have to balance with the throttle. So I've just kind of applied that same kind of philosophy on the wheel, and for me, it works. So everybody's a little bit different. But again, I would say third gear still here, balancing the car through the corner, bring it all the way out. I will probably more often than not cross over this curbing. And my turn-in point in third for this, if I get it right, is just as I'm getting to the inside curbing, just when the inside curbing is just getting to the edge of the screen. That's kind of the reference point of what I'm looking for. And if I do it right, the turn in the car, I should be able to get the car turned in without really braking into the inside, feather it on the way out, still third gear here. Heading on this short shoot to, I believe this is turn 10 coming up. You can wind it out in third, and you'll probably hit the rev limiter just as you get to the braking, or if you want to pop it into fourth, either or. I don't think one is better than the other. For me, the braking for this next turn, the latest, I'm always going to be going off of the TV camera boom. That's kind of the absolute latest. If you're waiting until that goes out of view to brake, it's too late. I'm going to probably brake just before it. And again, this is all based on my own traffic. Different story. I'll probably brake a little bit earlier just so I don't run into people. But so if I'm in third gear, I'll probably leave it in third. If I'm in fourth gear, I'll drop it to third. Again, staying off the outside curbing, turn in. Again, another left-right combo. So I'm going to sacrifice the exit here. Try to keep the car as much to the right side as I can, or the right half. Third gear, turn it back in. Use the yellow sausage curve as the apex, roll back. Once I get past that, I'm going to probably get aggressive on the throttle and try to get back to full throttle as soon as I get past the apex sausage curve there. Third gear, maybe up to fourth. Wind it out. I'm looking for this last light pole here on the left side. It's also right before this white line, right before the 200 board. So again, everybody else, for me, that's the braking zone. That light pole is what I'm looking for and what I'm going to be using to brake off of. It probably correlates also. It's somewhere between there and the 200. I think on soft tires, if you're able to brake the 200, good on you. I don't think I can do that. So I'm still unsure if second or third is better through here. I think we'll see how I do in the mock race. The tire may dictate that. But I'm going to late apex this corner and try and keep it to the right side on the way out. I know, like F1, they'll go out and then bring it back and I tend not to do that. It's like I'd rather have the car out, get it set, and have it balanced for this next set of turn-ins. I don't want to do a lot of left-right. Again, the weight shift in this car left to right isn't horrible. It's pretty flat. Um, so if you want to go out to the left and if you've got the time to bring it out to the left side, bring it all the way back to the right to go through the chicane, great. This is what I do. So I'm going to keep it to the left here. As I get to the curbing here on the outside, I'm going to turn in, and you can use a crap ton. I mean, don't be afraid to use the curbing. I mean, I'm practically like, where is the track limit? Track limit, if I were to superimpose the track limit line, the track limit is the line between the curbing and the green tarmac. So that's how much you can use before you get dinged for being off track. So don't be afraid. Let me back the car up a little bit more. As you go in this corner, don't be afraid to straddle that, because if you do that, it does set you up nicely. You're on the left half. You're kind of more on the left side of the track here, and then full throttle. You can do the same thing. Late apex that one, out you go. If you need to use a bit of the apex curbing there, you can. Apex curbing, exit curbing. On the way back out, for me, and again, meetup, you've got the timing scoring line. The two things I will focus on as I'm coming down the straightaway is, again, corner worker, kind of shack there on the right side, kind of lines up with the pavement change from new to old pavement. That's a good dividing line. It's a good reference for me as far as braking for the final corner. For me, I will brake. This one, I think, comfort wise, I am going to kind of cheat a little bit and brake across into the corner. It just it's less likely if I miss my braking and I on that line, at least I have a little bit more wiggle room to the outside before I go off. Um, versus if I brake straight and I make a mistake, I'm going straight off in the gravel. So for me, I'll be braking fourth gear, brake, brake, brake down to third, release, get the car into the corner, and I don't know if this is the ideal line, but I'm trying to hug the inside as much as I can. Um, if I get my eyes up enough, the second I start to see the exit curbing, is the sooner I can spot that, that's when I want to really start trying to apply the throttle in third gear out. So it's out the middle of the corner, and it also gives me the target to bring the car out to the right side. Now, if you want to be neat and tidy, just stay on the track. Don't get with this exit curbing. It's either keep it neat and tidy and keep it on the track, or if you want to do the F1 thing, let the car come all the way out and straddle it. And I would just say you just straddle it all the way until it ends, and you bring the car back over. Um, that would be what I would do. I would just not. I wouldn't want to put tires on the curbing. So you got your choice there. And that's kind of the lap at this point. It's full throttle straight down the straightaway. Though it's got a couple little kinks to it. And that's a map. Can't talk today. Lap in Mugello. Map of Mugello. So at this point, I'm going to just let's go ahead and get out of here. Tire wear. What I will say is, before I started the stream, I just popped on the softs and just ran laps until it hit 60%. It hit 60% about halfway through. It hit 6% on the back half of the course, um, heading down towards turn 10. So yeah, you're looking 4 laps easy. 5, it's going to hit 60% somewhere before the end of the 5th lap. So you do the calculations again. Soft tires, hard tires left about twice as long. So you're looking at maybe 9 laps on the hards, and then the mediums would be somewhere in that 67 lap range. So for the mock race practice race I'll run the mediums and the hards and see how long they last. But with that, let's go ahead and get out of this and go back to event menu. And now, because we're having to deal with Twitch streaming through the Xbox and sound bit rates and it going all staticky after an extended period of time, I'm going to pause the stream slightly, come right back, and then we'll do the mock race and see how bad my racecraft is. So be right back. Let's do that. Okay, and I got to reset the mic again. Okay, so let's go to advanced setup. And there we go. Okay, so we're going to do circuit race. I'll take care of that in a second. Mugello, full. Number of laps. I'm going to run 19. I think it's that's based off of roughly a minute 52 lap time. And so that might be a lap or two too high. We'll see what Matt comes up with. But for sake of practice, that'll work for me. We'll go random. Time progression rolling forward, partly cloudy. We'll go random, though I'm not going to race in the rain. Dynamic track rubber on. Driver difficulty 8. Designs on. Number of drive avatars, all of them. Cars. Yep, we're all going to drive the same car. Rules. Yes, thank you, Forza, for not setting it to sport rules. So let's just go ahead and reset that. Ghost back markers off. 4 times tire wear. Standing start. Grid ordering random. Mandatory pit stops. Uno. And that should do it. Let's see what we get. Well, it's going to be night in the rain. That was close. Tell us about Mugello. See if any interesting tidbits.
When it's this wet, it's hard to keep your tires and brakes up to optimal temperatures. So if you see a competitor's brake lights go on ahead of you, best to get on your brakes too.
That's smart advice. You know what? I just realized that I've been doing this stream and I haven't turned the TV volume down, so hopefully that hasn't been too distracting. Okay. All right. So what? 6 p.m. Yeah, we'll leave at 6 p.m. Start time. I like that. That's fine. But yeah, I'm not going to race in the rain. So I'll give Forza another chance to do something different with the weather. I'll take thunderclouds. At least there's no rain that way. So no wet tires. So fuel and tires. So we'll typically, again, my strategy on a single stop is always start with the hards, and I will put max fuel. I don't. Again, I'm not that smart. During the race. So the less head calculations I have to do, the better. So again, I will put it. We'll go 19 laps, and yeah. So even there, we'll see how it goes. Again, I think I'm at least 1, maybe 2 laps too much on this practice race, because if I'm only getting 9 laps on the hards, then yeah. Well, let's find out what happens. This could be the DAG here might favor the 2 stoppers, because for a 1 stopper to work, I might have to go past 60% just to make a 1 stop work. Well past 60%. Wait, let me do this calculation again before I get too far into it. Again, I can't do math in my head. So minute 51, so 60 plus, we'll do 60 plus 52. It's 112, yep, that's right. 2100 divided by 112. 18.75. So yeah, we'll do 19. Let's see what happens. Okay, start race. And starts on pole position. Yeah. I'm going to move to the... Oh, that's the other thing I gotta do. Pause it really quick. I forgot to go back to manual with clutch, because I like that, just that smidgen advantage on the upshifts. And that should mess up the driver tires all that much. So we'll let y'all by. I didn't realize Gizzy was still behind me. There you go, Gizzy. So, you know, again, for tire testing, like since I'm doing kind of the estimates here, obviously opening laps of a race, you know, you're trying to get the tires up to temp, but then you're also racing in traffic. And if you're smart about it, you may not be wearing the tires as much for that first lap or so that you will once you get up to speed. Shoot this amount of traffic. And push, and a little bit of getting pushed. Gotta watch for the AI being slow. They're not too bad through the chicane. Previous Forzas, they were always like the exit. They were always checking out. All right, let's see how good the draft is here, because this is going to be a mess into one. Ooh, somebody's pitting early. Okay, where's that pole? There it is. Just be very gentle. I'm not trying to make any passes. I am trying to catch up. Okay, that's going to be a problem. I can't see. I have to figure out what the discoloration looks like. I gotta find a different reference point there. And on the inside, so a little bit of a check brake, and the car's still going to push a bit. That's a little late. Make it work. And even there, if you notice, I do, if I think the car is going to understeer a bit more than I needed to, or I'll do a little bit of a lift of the throttle, just to, you know, try and give the front tires a better shot at re-gripping up. So B-Man's out in the lead. Let's see if I can eat into that a little bit. So 2 laps in. So we're at 10% after 2 laps. Oh, I might be able to get a few more laps out than I thought. And I can't do the math in my head because I'm too busy trying to drive and not wreck. So I'll just check the guys. the outside lane, that's fine. I'll just brake a little bit just so I can take that wider line through there and leave some room at the bottom. I like second going into that corner. A little bit of a draft, probably not an uptick shot. So it's all about just sticking close and getting that good exit and maybe get a little bit of draft down the front straight. Denied. Yeah, I can just barely see the discoloration. That's not as good of an exit there that I wanted. Fourth gear. Yeah, so if you get too far out to the left there, then it just makes that long left-hander a little bit more difficult to get through. Oh, that's a little late, at least for how I brake. Yeah, you can use the yellow sausage curves as references for the apex, but try and stay off of them. Whoa, that's found out. That's going to be a big one. Ah, I'll take it. .3 to B man. Let's see if I can eat into that a little bit. I think I'm losing ground though. Come on. Whoa, a little bit too soon to the throttle. Yeah, I like second gear on the way in because I can get the car to the inside. I can always short shift to third on the way out. I think if I had to hazard a guess, just at the 2-second gap that B-Man's pulled out, he's probably on softs. Question is, he pit? A little bit late. Should have left it in third. Gotta watch that entrance curve there. Okay, so my 6 laps and 5. It might be. It might be that. It might be 9. I might be lucky to get 10. That wasn't good. A little too much slidey. You know, headlights would be useful right about now. Really, it's going to then compromise my exit here. I just try to salvage as much as I can. 28. Car just is, oh, that's not good. Go down. Remember what I said? You know, the yellow sausage curves are a good reference on some of your apexes, but try and stay off of them. Okay, there's minor tire wear. Well, the slide didn't help any. I'm only gonna go. I'm gonna pit in the left 10 because left front's gonna be real close to 60% by the time we get to the end of the lap. So. That's late. Yeah, the car is definitely pushing just a little bit. Over on the inside. Oh yeah, those tires are about done. Yep. So yeah, 9, maybe 10 laps depending on conditions, and they're hard to use them. Which means I probably will not be able to get. So if we're like say 4.5 to 5, yeah, it's maybe 7-ish or so, and I've got 9 laps to do. Yeah, we'll see how many laps Matt does. If it's 17 or 18, then a one-stopper is possible. But if it's 19, then it's definitely a two-stopper. Why are you being slow? Whoa. See, there's the again, you got to be careful of the entry curves on the outside. Realizing that my headlights are on, just for whatever reason they're not as bright here. At least I don't think they're as bright here as they are at other circuits. Yeah, that's the other entry curve or outside curve that, if I'm not careful, will pitch the car sideways. All out of rhythm there. It's a little better. Pushing a little too much through that right-hander. Late. Getting really dark. Give me that draft. If I remember, I'll do a tire check at the end of lap 15. And that's going to tell me how much trouble I'm in, especially when I was braking. But I'd imagine that the tire temps are going to be pretty, or tire wear is probably going to be pretty high. Alright, let's see if I can make the pass without going wide. Actually, a halfway decent pass. There we go. Wow, that was dramatic. Late for the first part of the chicane, so had to lift a little bit. Okay, so I have a little bit of a draft, but let's see if I can get to the inside here. Probably not enough. Ooh. Almost. Oh yeah, we're screwed. We're at 42 already with 5 laps to go. Well, let's see when they hit. Let's see when they hit 60. If I'd have planned that better. At this point, I'm going to see if I can get lucky on the run to the final turn. Because his driver guitar is definitely putting more steering into the wheel than it needs to. But of course, then I mess up, so it looks like I'm going to try for turn 1 again. think I'll be able to get it done.
Three remaining.
Copy that. And if I'm going to mess up a braking point, it's going to be turn 1. We just hit minor. I saw the orange come up. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not at 60% already. No, that's the fuel. That's fine. Yeah, we're going to be pushing 70%, but I'm going to we'll finish it out. Oh, come on. There it is. At this point, I got Prow and I think Lucky behind him. So it's really just about hitting marks and not giving up the bottom like I'm doing right now, because I'm in third and I have no grip. Oh, that's going to be a big one. Oh no, surprised. Oh my god. Yeah, when you go past 60%, the tires fall off a cliff.
Final lap.
4
You got
seconds off. Well, that best, yeah, no, the best lap would have been on mediums. Come on, come on. Just got to get one more lap. Just one more lap. Just give me one more lap. I'm braking a lot more to get the car slowed down, because I'm just not going to have the grip through the corner. There's Severe, past 70%. Gonna get even worse. Oh my God. It's just how light, you get a little bit of grip weight out of the wheel, but nothing now. Oh, no, no, no. 11th is mine. You can't have it. Come on, turn, 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 turn. Come on. Yeah, way off the pace. Almost 8 seconds off my fastest lap there. So, uh, so that's Mugello. Again, 36. Just factoring things in. Yeah, that is with a quick stop. But also, for me starting back, add another 80 seconds, which is another minute 20. So I think for the race, 18 is probably going to be likely, which, depending on conditions, even an 18 lapper does put the one stoppers kind of in that weird place. Like, you could probably do it on one stop, but you're gonna have to baby. You may have to run an extra lap on at least one of your stints, but we'll see what Matt comes up with. And again, this is also factoring in, I'm running in different time of day and different temperature settings, but Mugello is a bit of a high deck track. So with that, I'm going to call an end to this particular stream. I'll probably be back later tonight to do Watkins Glen, and I think it's Watkins Glen short, so that should be a really good race as well. So hope you guys are having a good weekend, and happy racing.